did the same with Port Orange, and I can summarize them for you that the information that we're getting from them is not helpful. The stats don't tell us much in terms of where the people are coming from and so forth. Her comment in the areas that the stats are not any good to us. That has to do with whoever comes into their centers. And then secondly, there's a lot of problems with the websites. There's no click-throughs going on. And the referrals that we're getting from Port Orange have always been very low, and the referrals that we got from the Southeast Volusia one have been dropping off all this year. So in essence, her recommendation was to not fund these partnerships. She didn't think that the money was getting us any benefit to it. So when we did the budget, we did not include the $10,000 for either one of the chamber contracts, and the only other two things that are in the contractual services are the photographer, videographer that we have. He's currently, well, his contract actually is $24,000. He had a partial year's activity last year of $15,162 because he came on actually in January or late December. But if he had been here all year, it would have been $24,000. And the staff's recommendation was to raise that to $30,000, and the reason for it was the increased number of beach weeks we have. When we get to promotional activities, we have a fall and a spring beach weeks, and we're expanding the videos. We just shot another video with them last week up on the beach, and we're using them more and more to produce videos for the web. The other reason that they put it in there is that the vacant position from last year was a PR specialist to work with Elizabeth in marketing, and the PR specialist has a secondary activity of social media. So there's going to be an increased social media, and they felt there'd be an increased need for videos, photographs, graphics, things of that nature on that site. So they were asking for an increase in that. And remembering, the contracts are up to, and they are controlled by Elizabeth with, she sets the schedules now, and she determines what the photographer does and determines how many hours he's allocated out to handle a particular production. So a little more control on that than may have been last year. Anybody have any questions? Oh, and the fourth one is a visitor data collectors. Some of our activities don't have good data collection on them because they're not built in. Either the promoter doesn't have it or it's not a promoter event. And what we put in there was to hire some people, train them for some ad hoc areas where we want to put some people on the street to actually collect some visitor data. That's something we'll work out later. We just put a placeholder in there for $5,000. Any questions from the board on so far on contracted services? Tom, you all right?
I'm fine.
Okay. All right, bank service fees.